Greetings, brothers and sisters. Today I'd like to begin my Pastorgram just telling you that I'm so grateful to be a Catholic. As many of you know, it's been a long journey for me and my family, and we could define this journey as leaving behind a more individualistic way of thinking, okay? With my background as a Baptist, what was really important is what I believed, my own personal faith in Jesus, and also on the church level. I mean, all we really cared about was the local church, our local church, and there was no real vital connection to the outside of the four walls of our local church. Now, what I really appreciate about Catholicism is that it has vital links outside of the four walls. Okay, when I became Catholic, I found myself in a narrative, a historical narrative of 2,000 years of church history, and I connected with that. Wow, that's great. And I'm also connected with churches all over the world. And so being connected to the broader picture is so Catholic, and I appreciate that very much. Now, this is the context for our week coming up, our weekend, where we have the Archbishop's annual appeal, In Joyful Hope it's called. And there are so many wonderful ministries that we as a church can connect with in the Archdiocese, which we couldn't possibly do in and of ourselves. We're part of a bigger picture, you see. And so we just got done with a homily series that you can do hard things, and I've been trying to emphasize that we have to spill out beyond the borders of our church. And so I'd like to have you consider how much you might want to give to this appeal. I know that this is COVID tide, so to speak, and a lot of us are hit hard. I realize that. But pray, however little amount or large amount, I'm confident God is going to speak to you about that. But the beautiful thing is this: we can reach beyond the four walls into vital ministries throughout the whole Archdiocese. And that's a way for us to become missionary disciples. And with that, I'd like to have you listen to Archbishop Laurie.
Hope is a powerful gift, and one that was in great need in the past year, a year that seemed like it would never end. It is in our Christian faith and in God, our Father, that we find the source of our hope, the very foundation on which the Catholic Church rests. The Church administers hope to those who seek it, especially in times of difficulty and despair. Both were in abundant supply in 2020, and the Church, empowered by the prayers and generosity of the priests and people of God, responded every time, just as it has so many times before. In the example of those who came before us, the Church was there when people needed nourishment, of the body and of the soul. She was there when God's people needed shelter, care, and kindness, when they needed light to find the path to a better future, a brighter tomorrow. The annual appeal for Catholic ministries makes a profound impact on the lives of countless people in our city and state, and is a tangible way for parishioners throughout the Archdiocese of Baltimore to put their faith into action through their support of the appeal. Support for the annual appeal provides much-needed funding for 137 parishes, scholarships and other financial support for Catholic schools, and a lifeline for the critically needed programs of the Catholic Charities and St. Vincent de Paul of Baltimore.
The church always has played a role over the centuries, and they're great at raising money and then using it effectively. And some of these parishes would close without the money they get from this appeal. That's why we think it's important, and probably more important in this tough time of COVID, that you'd be able to raise the money to continue the programs.
The appeal ensures the church can continue to operate the many programs that people have come to depend on. Mike and I get so much satisfaction and joy out of volunteering at programs like Our Daily Bread and the Ministries of Catholic Charities, both of which are supported by the appeal.
On behalf of the countless people who will benefit from your selfless support of the 2021 Annual Appeal for Catholic Ministries, may your generosity be blessed, and may the beneficiaries of the appeal be joyful in hope.
My friends, we survived this past year together, united in faith and in our love for God and for one another. Through God's mercy, we have been given this new year full of fresh hope. Together, may we build up God's kingdom and leave no one behind us. May we continue to share our hope in Christ with those who have no hope, with those who have no hope for a better life, or for a better tomorrow, or for their eternal salvation. Hope is the great gift of our faith, a gift that we can share with one another. I pray that you will join me in sharing with others what God has so generously bestowed upon us. I assure you of my prayers for you, for your loved ones, your families, and I assure you also of my deepest gratitude for your faithful witness, your witness to the Lord, your witness to the Lord's goodness and love, especially in these very challenging times. May God bless us and keep us always in His love, united in faith, and yes, joyful in hope.